What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and daily news. Everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. If you're new to our YouTube channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's completely free to subscribe and help us reach 400,000 subscribers. We are so close. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. And don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. You guys are absolutely amazing. We're so close. In this video, we're going to talk about multiple different states that are sending out more money to millions of people. We're going to go over that in this video. And we got a lot to talk about here with the Build Back Better package as well. We got a lot to talk about, so let's jump right in. Here we go. Okay, first up, food stamps, SNAP assistance, and pandemic EBT assistance will do. You can see here, this article says 12 states announce extra $95 in SNAP for February. Scratch that out. It's actually 19 states now because I have an update for you. You know me, I'm up to date here on the newest information. So this article, even though it's only about 24 hours old, I actually have the newest information. It's actually 19 states now with the newest information. So here we go. Newest SNAP extended allotments for additional SNAP benefits. These are states giving out additional SNAP benefits on top of normal SNAP benefits. Here we go. Okay, this is the new list for February 2022. If you don't see your state, remember that more states will get added. You could see here, this was the list for January. It was really large. Wisconsin, Wyoming here, in case I'm cutting off the end here. But this was the list for January, so this is how large it got here by the end. Remember, the states will get added here as the month goes on. It was a really large list, and we had some territories in there as well, like Guam and the Virgin Islands. So as the month goes on here, there'll be more states added. So I will keep you up to date here on the channel. But these are the states so far and the dates that they're expected to pay out. Okay, so the new states that are going to pay out for extra SNAP food assistance benefits here. Alabama is expected to pay out on March 1st. Colorado, February 6th through the 11th. Washington, D.C., or the District of Columbia with your regular issuance. Hawaii on March 14th. Indiana is the 5th through the 23rd, paying out on odd days only. Iowa is February 1st through the 10th. Maine is February 10th. Maryland is February 1st through the 28th. Michigan is February 19th through the 28th. New Jersey is February 1st through the 5th. Ohio is February 24th. That's a day after my birthday, February 23rd. Oregon is February 10th and February 25th. Kind of some oddball days there. South Carolina is February 1st through the 19th. Virginia is February 16th. Washington is February 1st through the 20th. West Virginia is February 3rd. Wisconsin is February 12th. Wyoming is February 2nd through the 5th. Those are the states that have been confirmed already so far. I will keep you up to date here. There's probably going to be a lot more. Remember, when you look here through January, there was a lot of states here. If you don't see your state on the list from last month, petition your governor. A lot of this comes up to your governor and your state legislature to spend the money. So if you don't see your state on the list, email, call, and tweet your governor and say, why aren't you giving additional help to your residents? Yeah, so email, call, tweet your state representatives and your state governor. Okay, but these are extra SNAP benefits going out to millions of people across the United States. Okay, also next up we have pandemic EBT for the school year 2021. We have some new states added here. We have Colorado, which will be paying December benefits on June 22nd, and January may pay out in mid-August. Vermont, September through January will be paying out in February, and February through June will be paying out at the end of the school year. The rest of the states are Delaware, August and September be paying out in February, October benefits paying out in March, December and January benefits paying out in April, February and March benefits paying out in June. Indiana pays out quarterly. Ohio pays out on a monthly basis. Michigan pays out on a monthly basis as well. Minnesota has already started paying out. New Mexico started at the end of January. Virginia is not later than March and then monthly. Wisconsin has a single distribution at the end of April, and North Carolina at the end of January and February. So that is it so far for the pandemic EBT program. So we're still seeing more states added to that as well for school students getting paid additional bonuses, basically to pay for school luncheons, basically money going out to families and school luncheons for pandemic EBT bonuses. So we're seeing basically millions of people get additional pandemic related money here for basically because of the pandemic. So SNAP benefits, pandemic EBT benefits, and if you've been watching my show, this is just yet another thing that we're continuing to see millions of people get more additional benefits money because of the pandemic. So we want to continue to see more and more of this. I will keep you up to date here. We're going to continue to see more states added to this list here. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Next up, we'll talk about several different things that are kind of evolving here. Number one is House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer from the Democrats has tested positive for the virus, and he is currently 82 years old, born in 1939. So our thoughts and prayers go out with him. He's the House Majority Leader, 82 years old. It says here, House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, Democrat from Maryland, disclosed Tuesday that he tested positive for COVID, becoming the latest member of Congress to contract the virus despite being vaccinated. Hoyer, the second-ranking House Democrat, said in a statement that he is experiencing mild symptom, added that he will work and cast votes remotely while the House is in session this week. He said, I tested positive. I'm experiencing mild symptom. Thankfully, I am fully vaccinated and I already received my booster shot. At least 54 House members, including Hoyer, have contracted breakthrough cases of the virus, along with 12 senators. 2 House Republicans have also tested positive for the virus in recent weeks, including Republican Thomas Massey from Kentucky, who has openly said he is not vaccinated, and Republican Daniel Webster from Florida, who declined to disclose his vaccination status. Also, in a turn of events, Senator Ben Lujan, a Democrat from the Senate, has suffered a stroke. They say he's expected to make a full recovery, but this is very concerning because he won't be able to vote. So this is again, our thoughts and prayers go out to him, as well as Steny Hoyer, everybody that is dealing with the virus, including our members at home and our family members at home. Anybody dealing with the virus, my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody. Of course, we have literally millions of people out there that are dealing with the virus. Lujan says I don't think his stroke is related to the virus, but the thing is that, as you can see here, news of Senator Ben Ray Lujan's Democrat from New Mexico's stroke sent shockwaves through the Senate on Tuesday, underscoring the fragility of the Democrats' 50-50 majority in the Senate. Democrats are in the majority because they have 50 seats and the ability for Vice President Kamala Harris to break a tie. Lujan's absence leaves them at 49 seats until he returns. Yeah, with his office saying he's expected to make a full recovery. Quote, it's just a reminder that in a 50-50 Senate, any unexpected development could be a challenge to our moving forward on an agenda that the Democratic caucus shares, said Senator Chris Coons, a Democrat from Delaware, who said he was very optimistic that the 49-year-old Lujan would make a full recovery. Wow, stroke it, 49. Thoughts and prayers go out to him. The announcement appeared to catch the senators off guard. Senator Dick Durbin, a Democrat from Illinois, said, "Oh my God, I didn't know that." Senator John Tester said apparently the same thing. "Oh my God, I did not know that." Almost the same thing when asked by reporters. Democrats still technically outnumber the Republicans for now, but I don't know what the process would be. What's interesting here is Senator Mitt Romney, a Republican from Utah, is also in quarantine for the week because of he's tested positive for the virus as well. And Senator John Hoeven, a Republican, announced on Tuesday that he went into quarantine after testing positive for the virus. You can't make this stuff up. So the Republicans have 2 members in quarantine for the virus. And the Democrats have a member out because of a stroke. This is all temporary things. Yeah. Now, what's interesting here is that, of course, we want everybody to recover quickly, barring whatever they have. But we don't know how long it may take anybody to recover from anything. So let's just take the Democratic senator here who's recovering from a stroke. That's not something that you necessarily recover from in 5 days per se. So I don't know the process on how quickly the Republicans would say challenge for the majority of controlling the Senate. I don't think that would necessarily happen overnight. Remember that the Republicans technically have two Republicans in quarantine right now, so they don't really, quote, per se have the majority. I know you can't make this stuff up, right? It's absolutely just 2022 is just bonkers right now. Absolutely just bonkers. It's insanity, right? So let's just say that the other problem that we have here, right, is the actual voting procedures. So the Senate doesn't actually have a remote voting like the House does, okay? The Senate didn't want to vote on that. They couldn't vote for it. The Republicans didn't want to vote for it. They would have needed 60 votes for that. The Republicans wouldn't vote for it because they just weren't for it. The Democrats voted for it in the House and were able to pass that where you could just vote remotely, the whole pandemic thing. To me, that makes sense, right? If just vote remotely, have a representative vote for you, somebody of your staff, makes sense, right? But regardless, the Senate didn't pass that, so I don't know, whatever. But here's the thing, right? So we have a couple different interesting things coming up. The Build Back Better vote, stimulus package vote, multiple different stimulus considerations coming up, right? How long any particular senator might be out, who knows? Could be back next week. Could be back, who knows? I mean, your guess is as good as mine, right? They say he's going to recover quickly, but we'll see. The other thing here is the Supreme Court nominee that President Biden wants to confirm here in February. Well, they can't necessarily do that if they don't have the 50 votes. Remember, what's interesting here is as my father would say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Well, the Republicans changed the filibuster back in 2017. Remember, that good old filibuster, right? The Republicans wanted to change it. Trump wanted to get rid of it. And now the Democrats want to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Well, the Republicans did a filibuster carve out. They got rid of it in this instance for Supreme Court justices. So you no longer need 60 votes for a Supreme Court justice. You only need, drum roll, a simple majority, 51 votes. But if you don't have a senator present, you can't get 51 votes. So if any one Democratic senator's not there, someone's out in quarantine, someone's out sick, someone had a stroke, anything along those lines, they might not be able to confirm their Supreme Court justice. I know you can't make this stuff up, right? Now, this might just be a temporary problem, but the question is, how long? How long? Also, Build Back Better's hanging in the hanging in the wings. Other stimulus packages and considerations hanging in the wings. We also had, President Biden saying that more money's coming. Anything, any kind of vote that the Democrats want to pass on their own, hanging in the wings. Now, including the child tax credits, stimulus checks, anything you can think of that the Democrats want to pass on their own. Now, if they get Republicans to come on board on anything, they could do it. Because if they get Republicans to come on board, you get 10 votes, 11 votes, then Republicans can come on board. If you get, for example, one of the very big possibilities here going forward, and it's kind of becoming more and more likely that the child tax credits, well, I don't want to see more and more. Yeah, more and more likely is probably a good. I know I'm kind of talking to myself here, but it's actually it's actually probably a good conversation I'm having with myself here, right? Because it's a good conversation. I know. What do you think, Jimmy? Yeah, I think it's a good thing. The child tax credits are probably like a 50-50 at this point, that they might make a deal with Joe Manchin, or they might make a deal with the Republicans. Or the other 50, the other 50%, 50% would be that they don't pass anything. So it's 150% if you're keeping track there. Yeah, that would be like trying to keep track of the stock market right now. It's 50, it's 150% which way it's gonna go. It could go any way. The Democrats could pass their own deal. They could make a deal with Republicans. There's several Republicans that want to pass the child tax credits, but on their terms. On their terms, which would, it's not that different. The only difference is that the Republicans would take some credit for it. Not really a big deal, really. I mean, who really cares who gets the credit for it? I don't. The only really differences are that there would be a work requirement. You have to have a job. The question is, will it require the mom and a dad to work, or just one parent? That's kind of a big deal, because the old stigma of dad goes to work and mom stays home. Well, if it requires both of them to work, what if you have 3 kids and mom's staying at home working, or mom's staying at home watching the kids, or if you reverse it, dad's staying at home watching the kids and mom's working? That's really not too fair to necessarily require both of them to work. Because if you have 3 kids, and somebody's working, right? I don't know. You can kind of go into all sorts of kind of different scenarios here. And then when you think about grandmas and grandpas that are watching the kids, or raising the kids, right? There's millions of grandmas and grandpas that actually raise the kids in the child tax credits, and they use the child tax credits for the kids. It's not a whole lot of money. $250 to $300 a month isn't a whole lot of money, but it's enough money to pay for the food, right? It's enough to pay for maybe part of the housing and stuff. But if you take that away, if grandma and grandpa they're only getting Social Security, And now that doesn't count as earned income, even though they worked their whole lives and earned it. It's earned. They earned it, right? They worked for 40 years and earned it, but it doesn't count as earned income now. I know it's pretty stupid, right? You worked your whole life and earned Social Security, but now it doesn't count as earned income. I know, figure that one out, right? I know you're telling me, right? I know we're on the same wavelength here. We're thinking the same thing, but for some reason the IRS doesn't think that Social Security is earned income. So that's the problem here, is that when we start to say things like, you have to have a job, you have to have earned income. There's also other things like if you're self-employed, it might not count as earned income. If you're a contractor, it might not count as earned income. And then we might have this income requirement or its income threshold. It could be as low as $60,000, which isn't that bad if you're a single person. But if it's two people, that would be three there. But if it's two people, this turned out to be a funny episode. But if it's two people, that's really low. It's really, really low for just two people, like, a mother and a father. That's really, really low. Uh, yeah, that's only 30,000 a piece. 29,999 would be the limit each. Man, that's way below the average median income nowadays. That would be really, really, really low if they actually cut it off there. I, I mean, we'll see, but that would literally, if they put both of those requirements there, that would cut out tens of millions of Americans from getting this money that's supposed to go for the children. Here's a article from several months ago from CNBC that said if Joe Manchin got his way, or the Republicans, that could prevent more than 37 million children from getting the child tax credits. Imagine 37 million children not getting this aid. That's a lot of children. There's only like 60 million children that actually get it. So that's more than half. That's like 60 some percent of children that actually wouldn't even get it. So they'd be cutting out more than half the children from actually getting this. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date here. I'm not sure if that would be a good compromise to cut out 37 million children from getting the money. Remember that more than 50% of this money is actually used for food. It's not a lot of money. It's $250 to $300 per month. I mean, when you think about when you go to the grocery store, I mean, you probably spend, if you fill out a cart of groceries, I mean, you could spend $200 on a cart of groceries. So I don't know if that would be even a good compromise. So I will keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below if you haven't subscribed yet. We're almost at 400,000 subscribers. It's completely free to subscribe. So subscribe right now if you haven't yet. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll keep you up to date with everything going on here. You can click here to watch my newest video next. Or you can click here to see how there's $800 billion in stimulus money and how they can spend it next. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.